Welcome to another.
Oh, that was nice. That was well timed.
Thank you.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the Strike SMC Bravo. This is not the Strike SMC Bravo. This is the Strike SMC Bravo by Strike Industries.
Is a pretty cool chassis from Strike Industries, and we're going to talk about our experience with it after a quick word from our sponsor.
Today's title sponsor is TNVC.com, your source for good old-fashioned all-American night vision, just like Mom used to make.
See at nighttime. Nighttime seeing is important. Don't you want to see things? Seeing things is better. What's wrong with you? You don't want to see things. TNVC.
And by Vault Pro, proudly manufacturing the finest American-made safes, vault doors, safe rooms, and storm shelters. When you buy from Vault Pro, your safety, security, and privacy is their only priority. Vault Pro has never and will never release your information to another party. And by PDWs, now offering their advanced BDE suppressors in 4 caliber options, 7.62, 9mm, 22, and 5.56. These suppressors offer revolutionary sound control, all while remaining lightweight and tough. Easy to clean, easy to install, and easy to maintain. These suppressors will make shooting even better than it was before.
Strike Industries has had a chassis system before. This Bravo is the next iteration of that. The chassis system is the flat dark earth version of what you're seeing here.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. But it's really, really cool. A lot of people talk about this. An easy comparison for this is like the Flux Raider and this are pretty much the only two I can think of off the top of my head. But they utilize the FCU or fire control unit of the 320, which at the time when these were coming out was the only gun utilizing this. Mm-hmm. And then the slide to create a very different firearm.
SMC for Echelon win.
Yes, SMC for the Echelon, please. So a lot of people will ask that question about, well, why did they do the 320? That's really why.
Well, it's been around the longest. It's easy to do R&D on something that's been around for a couple of years.
And I imagine as you're putting this out there, instead of trying to get people to go buy a firearm to or even the fire control unit, it's like, if a lot of people already have 320s.
In this specific instance, we already had we had a couple of 320s, but we had the 320 Spectre comp that we did nothing with for a long time, and so we ripped off the slide and we put it in this chassis, and it was actually really. First off, you got super giddy. I'm quite a PDW simp.
Yeah. So like, I'm all about like anything that I can fit into like a laptop bag or like a backpack.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just
it does beyond its Call of Duty coolness.
Yes.
It does get very compact. It is very light. I mean, so for example, right, we have this PCC here.
Well, yeah, and I grabbed this like last minute to kind of make a contrast or make like a comparison, but like this is kind of what used to be.
That was that.
I mean, this is technically a PDW, whereas what it was designed to be. I don't know. MP5 still.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like that AP5 shoots like butter, but I'm not gonna. That's a little bit heavy, right? I like the fact that the form factor and the size of this.
Size, weight, form factor, it's a lot smaller. And most of it comes down to the type of things that we can now manufacture, the type of materials we can manufacture over. What gets crazy about this is because this isn't a folded piece of steel or this isn't a milled out receiver, the chassis by itself, let's say you have, and I'm sure you're watching this, you're interested, if you have a 320, just getting it to get into this chassis to be able to attach all this stuff, it's like $129 MSRP. I'm sure you'll see deals on that type of stuff. Most of the stuff here, this is $30 to add on as far as the little magazine holder, the blast deflector, which is really nice because it does extend the rail for you.
I think that's kind of,
it's kind of needed. We have the Spectre comp, which is almost the longest possible version with the compensator. Definitely need that. I've heard, and I have questions about this, there's a lot of space here. Maybe some end lock slots in the future. I'd like to know if there would be some.
Well, no, I think that's a good point. I mean, we have an Acro and a Surefire Turbo in here, but you could just as easily put a Vampire on here, and some kind of like small LAM device, like maybe the Hollow Sun laser or something, and now you have a night vision capable, basically what could be a bag gun.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I mean, I don't want to say there's not a case for that. I mean, I'm sure you could find some use, but pretty cool.
The total price as we have it configured, minus the FCU, minus the super bougie slide that we have.
And the Acro.
The Acro and the Surefire light, just if you wanted the base gun with irons here. All of the accessories, if you went to Strike Industries right now, I did the math, it is $439. Now, that might sound like a lot, but this is a folding brace. I think the folding brace is $190.
I mean, you may already have a pick rail brace, right?
Yep. Maybe you don't want this. Maybe you have something different. Overall, just to get this gun configurable to this is $129 right out the door for the Bravo chassis,
which I feel is like the first bag's free, homie. Because you get that and you're going to go, now I want to.
It's really cool. They were very smart to include just a pick rail section on the back. So there's a number. You can go way bougier or way cheaper on a brace or stock for the back here.
I feel like if you are going to be cheap, though, and you want to not buy something, don't cheap out on this. I found when I was grabbing this guy and not really paying attention, just throwing my hand up there, if that were not there, I would be putting my thumb like right next to this comp here, which... not good.
Not ideal.
They do have a charging handle, again, a $30 part. There's a charging handle that replaces the back plate. I do like that it's all aluminum. We did have to put a thread locker on here, but it stayed on there, and we were pretty abusive on that. I do like that this changes so you're not having to try to pinch the slide. You really shouldn't be grabbing your optic.
I feel pretty cool when I grab my optic, though.
Yeah?
I do like that they include this. I've seen a lot of other iterations where you have like a milled slide. I know Agency does this where they'll mill the slide so that you can insert it a little bit further up. But this is a really unique, it requires nothing unique. Any 320 that's designed this exact same way, which all of them are, have that back plate compatibility. You just need like a pen to push this little thing in.
I also like that they have a little QD here in the back. So if you were gonna, run a sling and
do a little single point from retention, I think it's really, really cool. All of this stuff they also have. This is really interesting. You can either run both the magazine release here and the magazine release and the mag holder up front as they come, and they also include these little tiny metal extensions.
I was gonna say
which are critical.
So when you get it out of the box, they're pretty recessed, and I think that's part of the reason is like you don't accidentally dump your mag, but you have to very intentionally push that button in to get your mag out, especially from your mag holder up here. Not a foregrip.
Yeah, not a foregrip.
Mag holder. But to get it out, you had to put like intentional pressure. So having that little extension there makes it just makes it a lot nicer.
Yeah. As we all played with it, right? We had different like little learning moments. So for example, for me, if I have this up, I can't really reach the magazine release, which we have some footage here where it's easier for me to come across with my opposite finger. Makes it a lot easier.
He's got baby fingers.
There's other situations where if you ride this too high, which is natural, then you're kind of running into a situation with how do you hit that light, right? For me, it'd be going with the other finger from behind.
There's a lot of different...
It's intuitive, but at the same time, it takes just a couple of runs to kind of figure out your manipulations and how you want to put your hands on it. Because, I mean, I think there's footage of us, and Bobby, you can make me look silly, when I was trying to look the first reload on camera, and I was miserably failing because my brain just didn't go there, and I was trying to go fast.
Shame on you, dude. First time shooting a gun that you
dare
never
you.
have held before. You
well, no,
can't
because
run
I don't know if you guys
alarms.
know this. Influencers only shoot A zones in like 2.2 splits and never mess up.
So you're not an influencer is what I'm hearing.
Unfortunately. It took me maybe 2 mags of actually shooting it before it made sense to me. I think that there was a lot of thought put into it. And actually, ergonomically, at least for me, the larger your hands are, the easier this thing's going to be to manipulate without doing anything wonky. I think if you start to get to people with smaller hands, conversely, this size handgun, right? Like, let's just take the regular Spectre comp, would be kind of unwieldy to somebody with smaller hands because you only have those 2 points of contact.
Well, and that's funny because then we can link our SIG roundup video when we did a Facts Not Feelings, and we actually got performance ratings on all of their guns. Well, not all, but 226, 365s, XLs, macro, whatnot. Well, we shot the 320 Spectre comp fairly well. The macro and the XL I shot significantly better just because the ergos, right? My hands, it's just a big gun.
It's a big gun.
Yeah. This is pretty cool. Maybe I don't know because I'm not as cool as you guys, but is anybody else making...
no.
You know what I mean?
That I know of.
I'm doing it back. My brain did it backwards, but yes, you can go either way on this guy. Lift up, pops back out, other way.
That's been the most fun.
Like this is really freaking cool. Or you, boom.
I think it's a really cool. There was a lot of. It kind of goes back to, like I said, that all of the touch points on this, I wasn't disappointed in anything. What's fascinating about this is it's concealability, right? You have something that's lightweight, small, really inexpensive compared to, from a quality standpoint. This shot incredibly well. I had no issues. We're cheating a little bit because we have really nice, expensive stuff in it.
And also the capacity side of this. Like, we just have 2 standard capacity magazines here for this guy. I mean, you could have extended mags.
Sure.
And with one grab, you're not having to grab like a chest rig. You're not having to grab, mag pouches or anything else in your pocket. You have a magazine. And typically, if you're going to have an issue with a firearm, 9 times out of 10, you're probably be a magazine issue. Yeah. So being able to shed that mag, grab another mag, now you have a second mag. Or, if you get flustered and drop the mag out of the mag well, you don't have to bend over and pick it up. You have another one right there in front of you.
Yeah, it's when you really start to look at it, especially within a civilian context, or even where your space is really compressed, this starts to make a lot more sense. If you disagree with me, go try it in actuality.
I mean, I think defining what you need it for always dictates
because
the
it's
firearm.
cool.
Yeah,
that's another part of it, right?
It's
Obviously, like
cool.
this looks like it's like plus 500 accuracy, speed, and reloading on Call of Duty, and I'm gonna.
This is the gold. This is the gold.
This looks
unlock.
like something I shouldn't be able to afford, but I could.
I think that's. I was gonna get to that. Ultimately, this brings a very, very cool. It's really rare we get giddy about getting to shoot something and it's not that this isn't the most powerful gun that we have here. It's by far not the most expensive, but I had fun with it. Yeah. Everyone I've shown this has been like, "Oh, that's cool," and I'm not upset when they shoot a mag through it because I didn't just burn $50 worth of ammo when I handed it to them. I think it's a really interesting. I think it'll get more people into gun ownership. And I think it'll get people to be, I'd rather see somebody running this if they're not as proficient with handguns. Oh, yeah. Truly, in a self-defense situation.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather have this as a capability than just a handgun, especially if you start talking about distance, especially if you start talking about how many rounds I can put on target, XYZ.
Yeah, I think that's just an aspect that we don't cover enough. Guns are fun.
Yeah.
This one is fun.
A blast.
I don't need to have a practical reason. Majority of us watching this video have plenty of guns that we don't need. Yeah. We want.
I think this serves a lot of that purpose. I would be interested to see this in 10 mil. If I can give free advice for those of you that are like, already I'm totally buying this, have a slide that doesn't have a comp on it. It didn't bother me towards the end, but the first couple times I shot it, I was like, that is a lot of concussive blast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, there is a difference between holding it out versus kind of getting in on it.
I will say this is a little overkill, like having the comp on this. Like, it honestly doesn't really need it. We just put it on there because like it just looks sexy.
You want to go fast.
Yeah, I know. This helps you go fast. I would definitely recommend. I also really like that this has an enclosed emitter, like red dot on it. Here's where this starts to make sense because it's a bag gun. This also could be like an adverse conditions gun. Right, all of that stuff starts to make more sense, especially because my form factor is already a lot bigger. This thing was cool. Anyways, strike, M-Lock and suppressor versions. This is what we're asking for. And then I'm sure everybody in the comment section will ask you for a Glock version. I'll let you make that argument for it. I do want to see an Echelon version. I'm a simp for the Echelon a little bit. That's public knowledge. But more manufacturers should, I think, have FCUs, hopefully moving forward, so you can start to get different magazine capacity or compatibility and then slides and things of that nature.
It's just fun seeing different things.
If you guys have any experience with this or any questions with it, please put it in the comment section below. I do read all those. We will either argue, agree, or laugh about it collectively. Vegeta, holla at your boy. If you guys have any feedback, like let's say you've gotten your hands on one of these, I'd like to know what you did with your build and how it did. I just always curious. We actually do like that kind of feedback. If you have other stuff you'd like us to explore this year, please put it in there. We will look at those things. How do they find us anywhere that's not YouTube?
We are AR15com on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we also have a Discord. You can find the link down below in the description, or I guess doobly-doo.
The doobly-doo.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm taking that folding adapter there and throwing it on the BRN 180 SBR build.
Oh, that's hot.
That's hot. I like the whole thing, but
anyways, and more than anything, support our sponsors. They're the reason why we are allowed to do this type of content. You are de facto a sponsor if you have subscribed to us or liked this video, and really and truly support the companies that are supporting your right to the Second Amendment, because without them, none of this is possible. Until next time, we will see you at the range.